A hurricane is coming. What do you do? How do you prepare? Well, I thought I'd take a minute and just share with you some of the things we do here at KRI to prepare for hurricanes. And believe it or not, the preparation starts way before we even think that a hurricane might hit. And that is with, first of all, asset selection. So we try to buy assets that, if they're going to be anywhere near the coast, we try to make sure that they're block construction, very sturdy construction. If they're more inland, we could be a little bit more flexible, but always the sturdier the better. So that's the first thing we do. We carefully select assets that we think will withstand the weather. The second thing we do is we watch the forecast, but we don't trust it implicitly, right? Hurricane tracks always say they're going to go somewhere with some degree of uncertainty. So just because we might be outside the cone as it's projected or forecast, we don't let our guard down. So that's really important, because that then triggers our hurricane preparation process. And we've got an incredible team on the ground. So for example, on Monday this week, we started, because we knew there was potentially a hurricane, we went into hurricane prep mode. And for the next day and a half, all we did with our on-site teams were emergency work orders and prepare the properties for hurricanes. And some of those preparations included, well, I'll talk about it from a very high level. First of all, we try to find any debris that might get blown around. Residents leaving things out on their patios, things like that. And we literally knock on the door and ask them to bring them inside so there's no airborne objects. The second thing we do, and this actually started long before hurricane season, we make sure all of our trees are trimmed, all of that stuff, fences are secure, and everything else. That's really important as an ongoing maintenance item that you may not think about. But if you wait until a hurricane is projected, it's too late. So we've already done that at all of our properties. The next thing we do is relating to our pool. Some people tell you, well, there was this long-held belief that you should put your pool furniture in the bottom of the pool. It'll be safe. We never do that. We've never tried it. I don't think it works. We actually take the time to bring all of our pool furniture, our tables, our umbrellas, and we bring them inside and secure them, because they will very easily become airborne projectiles. And the last, from a high-level thing that we do, is we hyper-focus on drainage. Every hurricane brings with it an enormous amount of rain. Even if we don't get the massive wind, we are most likely going to get a ton of rain. And when I mean a ton of rain, we're talking inches in mere hours. So we have to make sure that all of the property's drainage is working, and we actually then make sure that we assess anything that might be slow draining. We assess it right then and there and make sure that we deal with it. We even go down the street to make sure that the storm drains near our properties are open and draining properly, because if they don't, then the water can't leave our property like it's supposed to do. So there's a lot more that we do for hurricane prep. What's important is that we have a very detailed checklist. We have our entire team hyper focused on that, and we take our preparations very seriously and start them early to make sure that our properties are as prepared as possible for a hurricane. I hope this gives you some visibility into what happens on the ground. We run large apartment buildings. It's not like we're trying to secure just a single family home. So in our world, there's a lot of things that could go wrong, and we just go try to find every single thing that could go wrong. And then finally, one last thing I forgot to mention, once we nail down our properties, once they're secure, we ask our team members to go home and make sure they take care of their families as well until it's safe to return to the properties. I hope this video was helpful in you understanding what we do when we have a hurricane.